Hello and welcome back to the Misfits podcast, rated 5 stars. You're right there, Carson.
I'm sorry.
You're just mid yawning during the intro.
That's my bad.
Rated 5 stars on iTunes by Re123. He or she says, your podcast makes my ting go skra, pop, pop, ka, ka, ka.
Are you any better at that, Carson? Can you do that?
Tingo skra. Pa pa pa. You like that?
That was really impressive,
Yeah, I like
actually.
that.
I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Toby on the telly,
Hi.
Swagger Souls,
Howdy.
and special guest, CallMeCarson.
Very
me.
special
What's up?
guest.
What is up, man?
Not much. I'm here on the Misfits podcast.
Yeah, you're here.
What episode number is this? Do you know?
64.
Wait, you actually know?
64 it should be, but it
Oh,
might not
really?
be. You
Fuck.
never know.
It could be anything.
Technically 64, but
Technically.
we don't know what order we're going to be releasing all of these podcasts.
We have recorded more podcasts this week than we have all year, I feel. It's just been podcast after podcast.
Yeah.
We got so many guests, and we saved Carson
For the middle.
to the middle. Because he's not the best, but you know what? You're definitely not the worst either.
Why did
Yeah.
I come on here?
So
I
Carson,
don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Just kind of being a dick.
It's my job, you know. It's what I do.
Carson, let's jump right into it.
Okay.
When did you start doing meth?
I don't do meth.
Oh.
He's a straight edge man.
Famous
Yeah.
birthdays was wrong again.
He's a,
Famous birthdays.
I don't know where they got that from.
Call me Carson, known for his meth problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm straight edge.
yeah,
Are you,
very
okay,
straight
okay.
edge.
Are you straight edge or do you just not do drugs and drink?
I mean,
Because, like,
That.
you know, I feel like straight edge people are the people that are like, yeah, I don't do drugs or drink. You know, it's like,
Well, no, it's
like being vegan. And
No.
No, I don't think he's prideful
Yeah.
in it. It's just
Yeah.
like his choice. And I mean, it's not like you're not drinking tea or coffee or having gamer subs or anything. Like,
yeah,
you still,
code Misfits, by the
of course.
way.
Yeah. You know, he still does, caffeine and shit, but you don't have nicotine. No smoking, no vapes. Fair enough.
Yeah. So is there a reason behind that? Or,
Well, it depends on which substance you're referring to.
like, let's start with the meth. Like,
yeah. Why no meth?
I don't know. It just seems like an unhealthy habit.
it seems like a lot, right? Like, too much.
Got a lot on my plate right now. I'll
Okay.
think about it though.
Maybe in the
Someday.
future.
Yeah.
You never know. You might be like a broken man in your late 20s. Like,
You think?
I mean, most YouTubers are, so
Is there something you want to talk about?
let's leave it for now. You know what I'm saying? Meth is just around the corner for me. No, but why don't you drink or smoke or?
Drink, family history,
Okay,
and then smoke. Weed makes you lazy, and
you think so?
yeah,
But you never tried it.
yeah.
It has
I've
different
heard
effects.
Also, I'm stubborn, and I decided a while ago
noticed.
that I was just like, I don't really want to, and I've stuck by that.
So you're stubborn even with yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
if you
yeah.
say something, you're like, I stuck by that, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, weed doesn't necessarily make you lazy, but it definitely, for me, I think it probably makes me lazy, which is why I don't smoke it every day.
I think it depends. It depends on when and how you use it.
No, for me, it just makes me lazy.
Really?
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah. For you,
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
me, it's
I think
different.
I don't know.
I might just be a weird crackhead that just fuels himself on marijuana.
I think weed probably makes you more lazy than you'd like to admit. I think weed
Yeah,
it makes it easier to give in to like not doing work.
yeah, I mean, if I smoke weed early on in the day, it fucks me up. So I don't do it. It just, I'd rather play Crunker stoned than start editing a video.
Yeah.
I have to start editing a video first, record it sober, start editing it sober, have something cut up, and then as I do subtitles and the fucking editing that's tedious and boring,
Yeah.
that's when I smoke, and then I have a fun time.
Interesting. So yeah, for me, it just makes it not a fun time. It's just like I'm still bored because I'm editing, but I'm just high, and I wish I was playing Crunker.
Fair enough.
How you finding Melbourne, man? You've been here for a few days.
Oh, it's really cool. I'm surprised by how clean everything feels.
right. That's
A lot of
interesting.
American cities. I feel like the streets aren't as well kept.
Yeah.
And also, I really like all the. I feel like all the buildings here are super colorful. And I'm used to gray monoliths.
I don't know. Like San Diego was nice when I visited. Like
San Diego's really nice.
to me, San Diego was what I thought LA should be.
yeah.
Yeah,
LA is just a pit of hell, though.
Yeah.
The first thing I noticed when I first came to Melbourne was like you're driving in from the airport to the city, and you just see the skyline, and it's all like quite uniform. You know, it feels like there's a design code.
It's very
there,
put
you know?
together.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. Yeah, you weren't going to come initially, right? You were debating not coming. Are you glad that you decided to come?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, I'm on the Misfits podcast, so
At least
Isn't
there's
that
that.
bad?
probably.
You guys recorded a Goopcast here as well, just before.
Yeah.
Oh, how was
my
that?
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Thanks
Goop-
for the plug,
Yeah,
by the
no
way.
worries.
No worries.
There might even
Uh,
be a link in the description. You never know. You know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Might get a
We
little-
might get wacky with it.
Yeah,
you
might
know?
get
Why
crazy.
not?
What made you want to start doing a podcast?
A podcast?
Yeah.
I've kind of always wanted to. I've been listening to podcasts since I was like 13, and it was like it's a different way to do content, and I get to express myself different ways than I do normally because all my content is super filtered.
Yeah.
And this is just sit down, talk for an hour about whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't really get to do that with my audience much.
Yeah.
How would you describe what your podcast is? Is it just a bunch of guys like us just chatting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't have a system for it.
Yeah, I mean,
We
that's
should
the better
probably
way to
get
do it.
a system, but
I don't know. We found that when we do just come in and sit down around a table, most of the time that is the better way to do it. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
we lose, flow and we can't think of anything to say next. But a lot of the time when we plan what we're going to talk about, we go through it way too quick.
yeah,
And it's
I've
just, it
noticed
doesn't
that,
feel
yeah.
natural. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Speaking of podcasts, you were there for our live show, our live
I
podcast
was.
that we did on
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah.
You can't really ask him how it was because he had noise canceling headphones on.
I had the
Sony's-
Sony's on.
Sony's,
We went into that show completely unprepared, basically. Like
Yep.
I
like zero prep.
I was writing down talking points in the dressing room like an hour before. That was the only preparation that I did, just in case,
Yeah.
So we had stuff to fall back on. It was interesting though. We were up on a stage in front of 500 people doing the show, and beforehand, when we were sitting up and doing the sound check, we noticed that it was just randomly a chair to the left
Yeah.
on stage. And so I think Ryan might
It was Rish.
Ryan
It
or
was
Rish.
me.
Rish?
It was me, you fucking
Well,
idiot.
someone came up with the idea that Carson just sit on this chair.
Well, I sat there in the first place, and
Yeah.
then Toby said sit there the entire time.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job.
Yeah. So Carson ends up
Yeah.
sitting on this chair just slightly to the left of us doing our podcast.
Well, he was hyping up the audience because I hear the audience like cheering and going ah, and cheering and going ah from the backstage. And it wasn't until I saw, I think it was on somebody's Instagram story, it was Carson sitting in the chair, and then he would stand up, and then the whole crowd would applaud, and then he would sit back down, and then he'd go ah, and he just kept going up and down and teasing them and hyping the crowd up. It was pretty fucking
And then
awesome.
eventually I just held up my water bottle and then went,
Yeah, he just started clapping.
It's interesting because like we were debating having an opening act, like a comedian or someone come on before us to like warm up the crowd, and we ended up being like, nah, fuck it, we'll just do our own thing.
Yeah,
Like that'd be weird.
This guy did it perfectly.
Yeah, we found the
Didn't even have
perfect
to
in between.
speak. Didn't even have to speak.
Yeah, you got them
Yeah.
going, you got them loud, you know.
I'll be your guys' pre-show.
That
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
honestly that would be hilarious.
think?
If you actually toured with us and you actually just did that. every
It
single
should, it
time.
should just be him on the stage alone, just doing something like really menial,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
making lemonade or like cutting up fruit,
Yeah.
or like peeling an orange.
I feel like I
something.
can do that well. Well,
Yeah.
not the peeling an orange thing. I'm pretty bad at with my hands. But I feel like I could pre-show well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you describe your sense of humor? Like,
Well, that's a loaded question.
have you ever thought about that? Like, would you say it's like very anti-humor? Or?
I've tried to classify it before because I went around and polled people. I was like, what would you say is my sense of humor? And it was a different answer every time. So I stopped trying to classify it because it's
It's
just
very deep fried. It's very ingrained
Is
in
it, though?
irony.
Because-
I think you have your roots in irony because I mean, dude, I've known you since you had like under 1,000 subs on YouTube.
Yeah.
When you were friends with Notorious. My first interaction
back
with
when he
you,
was alive.
Yeah, fucking rip, man. My
in
first
peace.
interaction with you was you literally saying like, it was like Matt paid me to be like in that video that he made of me, and I had no idea if you were serious or not. I'm like, who's? And I had to ask Matt, I'm like, who's this CallMeCarson guy? Do you know him? And he's like, oh yeah, he's my friend. He's just fucking with you. He's just fucking
Oh, yeah.
around. He's just a troll. And I was like, oh okay. Then I checked out your channel. I was like, this guy is great. He's got a lot of potential. I wanted you to keep going with like the Overwatch puns, dude. But
No, it was
it's all
those
gone now.
videos were so shit. They were so unbelievably bad.
Dude,
What
but
were those
that's why I
videos?
think I liked them.
I sat in front of my microphone for like 5 minutes and then just like spitballed puns for Overwatch characters and then spammed it on Reddit.
Yeah, he would.
Wait, it was literally just you sitting there making puns.
Yeah.
So it's like
really good.
It's what Schlatt's content is now.
No.
It was
No.
it was literally.
He does it well.
I see.
He would make these. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you'd make these pun videos. You made like a bunch of them, like
Yeah.
a handful of them.
Oh,
and then he would.
I tried doing it for every character.
He'd go onto the Overwatch subreddit and post it and spam it, and he'd get banned.
Yeah.
And then he would make a new account, and then whenever he uploaded a new video, he would spam
Why'd
it
you
again.
spam it?
You
I
were
was so desperate for views. You have to understand.
you were a very
I mean-
dedicated shit poster,
Yeah.
dude.
I did the same thing, but I kind of just like posted it once and then like just let it do its thing. But I definitely
But
at
you
one
were
point,
also probably making content that was good.
well, it was like, you know, I made content that was catered to Reddit specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know
pretty
what I
much.
mean?
Yeah.
And like I look back at it, I'm not proud of that content, but you know, it wasn't.
I don't know.
the
I think
worst.
some of what you used to make was really cool.
Thanks.
But
I liked
the-
your old videos.
Thanks.
I found you when you had like 3K subs or something.
Yeah, we have known each other like loosely for a very long time.
Yeah.
Although at the beginning I treated you with no respect
I understand though.
because you know you were such a little shit poster.
I still
loved
am.
it. I loved it, but I kept my distance. 'Cause I had no idea what to expect if I was
Yeah.
actually to record with you.
Yeah,
'Cause I didn't know if you were just going to take the piss out of me the entire time.
that's understandable.
the interesting thing about the Reddit effect is that like you get views, but you don't get subs because it's just people watching it on Reddit and then going, "That was cool." Upvote it, scroll down. You know.
yeah.
So like there are people like, you know, I remember Fitz back in the day. He was getting like hundreds of thousands of views on his videos and had like 10K subs. And
Yeah.
it was consistent too.
But it worked in the end because eventually YouTube recommended picks up on
Yeah.
those views, and then
Yeah.
that's when you actually start growing.
Yeah.
'Cause YouTube cares.
How did you get started making content? What was like an inspiration or like what made it click in your head? I'm going to make videos on YouTube and upload them just for a hobby.
Oh well, that was a long time ago.
So
Because I started making videos when I was like 12.
So what year?
He's 14 now, so that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
No, I would say like 2010, 2011.
2010?
And it came from me watching like Pokemon walkthroughs. And I was like, I want to do that. And then I would sit down with a camcorder pointing at my DS, and it would just be just terrible quality. And I wouldn't know how to upload it to YouTube, and my parents wouldn't let me make an account on YouTube, so it would just be for me. And then eventually I turned 13, and around that time I found Minecraft. And I made Minecraft videos for an extended period of time.
Very
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
So was that on a CallMeCarson, or was it on like another?
I've had a
named-
lot of
you've had a lot of channels. Are any of them still up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one called Blue Creepers 1, which is really fucking awesome.
So this was like genuine Minecraft content, like actual gameplay focused content. Or was
Yeah, but I mean it's not easily watchable.
I can. Yeah. Was it still recorded with a camera, or do you have a screen recording at this point?
This was like a max screen recorder at like 10 FPS.
Nice.
It was really good. So it went from Blue Creepers 1 to Gamercraft 157.
Epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, like this early on, were you? What was the idea you were obsessed with? Like, what did you want to accomplish? Did you already love the idea of being a big YouTuber, or was it just like, oh, that looks cool, I want to make a video? Like,
I already loved the idea of being a big YouTuber,
Right.
but I was a fucking child.
Is this your channel?
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
the new era?
That was
It's
the-
a
my
iMovie
goodness.
trailer is
Awesome.
what you're looking at.
500
Yeah.
subs, dude. I'm gonna
Oh,
sub.
does it have 500 subs now?
I just subscribed.
wow,
I think he had
502.
24 when I left it. So.
wow, that's some solid growth.
Yeah, it's really solid growth.
That's passive, you know. That's
You
good.
did animations. You did stick
No,
animations.
no, I did not.
Shoop the whoop.
Oh, I know. I see it.
Shoop the whoop sticks. Let's see quality content.
Are we really gonna react to this on your phone right now? Swagger Sauce?
Possibly. I don't know. Is this how the videos? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, isn't that?
It's not too bad.
We can edit it. We'll edit it on
not too
screen
bad.
for the YouTube video. Wow.
That's not
So,
bad at all, dude.
was that-
Back me up.
Thanks, dude.
Was that inspired by Stickman on Crack or those early videos?
Oh
On
no,
YouTube?
I think I found a stick animation software, and I was like,
I've been there.
I guess I'm going to make stick animations.
Pivot was the shit.
Pivot.
Dude.
Was it
Pivot
Pivot?
was awesome.
I
It
can't
might have been
remember.
Pivot. It was, or it was like some Pivot ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So did you want to be a big YouTuber throughout the entirety of your teens then? Was it like
yeah. Oh yeah. No. Pretty much everything was leading up to last year when I actually blew up, and
Right.
and it was the entire time. It was just I was obsessed with the idea.
Really?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, I was definitely, it was always a dream of mine as well. I think since around the same age, like 12, I was always like, that would be so cool. And I also made old channels. My first channel was like a terrible tutorial channel, showing people how to download like fonts and stuff like that. Like I was very
Seriously?
inspired by early MKBHD, if you know who that is. He's now
Yeah.
the biggest tech reviewer on the platform. But
Linus Tech Tips.
no, MKBHD.
MKBHD.
I was watching him though when he was like a 12-year-old kid. Like
Oh damn!
he's been on the game for a long ass time.
Did you type up in a notepad document?
No, I had this really shitty like plastic clip-on mic that just barely worked, and I was using Camtasia Studios.
Cool.
Yeah, so,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I went deep with it.
I started with Lego stop motion.
That's right.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I think
I
I
had a
tried
channel.
some shit like that.
There's this terrible channel. I've shown it on stream a few times. It's got like 3 videos on it, and it's genuinely from when I was like 10.
Yeah.
And it's just me making these shitty Lego animations, and I didn't know how to do like quick transitions between clips. So it's like 1 shot, 1 second, 1 shot, 1 second. It's just like really poorly done.
It's funny like how dumb you are at 12, but at 12 you feel like you're so much smarter than you are.
Yeah.
Remember how you felt when you were 12? You feel like I'm starting to get a grip on this whole life thing.
I
But
mean,
in reality,
I still
you're
feel like that.
Yeah, true. I guess that's just growing up in general. You
Yeah.
know, probably until you die. I guess you feel that way. But
Do you feel like you're the same person you were like a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago when we first crossed paths
No.
and everything? Do you feel like you've done a lot of personal growth?
Oh yeah. I hate myself from 2 years ago.
Epic.
Yeah.
Same. You know.
But I mean, that's just how people are.
especially
if
at
you're-
this age.
Not if
I
you're a
think.
sociopath.
True. So what's changed then in the last 2 years?
I think I just figured out how to be a person because before, I mean, in high school I didn't know how to just be myself, or how to. In high school, I was obsessed with like what peers thought of me, and once I got out of high school and really started like being a little bit more introspective, it really changed it changed everything really. But yeah.
No, understandable. I mean, I feel like it's pretty common to be that way in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's one thing that I've kind of realized over the last 3 years, leaving high school and university and stuff, it's like being self-conscious all the time is such a waste of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it really is just the biggest, because what are you really accomplishing other than just being stuck in your own head? You know what I mean? Like, you are who you are.
Yeah.
You might as well just full fucking send it. You know what I mean?
enough.
Which is
Yeah.
easier said than done, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's an important realization to have. And I think it's
Yeah.
important, like, growing up out of that mentality.
Well, high school always feels like a trap because I mean you're with those peers since elementary school. So as you're a kid and going through elementary, then to middle school, then to high school, I mean like everybody's in these cliques that never change, and there's never like a way where if you're in this one clique, you're never going to be able to move to another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like, oh, this is my place. This is who I am. It's what everybody knows me as.
Yeah.
And as soon as high school is over and you go to college, that's where people have opportunities to reinvent themselves and all of that.
It's because the world opens up, Like, you're not in the bubble anymore.
Yeah, there's
and you
more.
realize, oh, this is so much bigger than I thought it was. Why was I so worried about popping that little bubble?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're kind of liberated, which is really terrifying, I think. But at the same time, you are liberated, and you can start actually fucking being a person.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Nice. Good for
Thanks.
you, buddy.
Thanks,
It's
man.
good to see. And now look at you. You're killing the game. You finally got your break on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I would say things are going very well for you.
They're going all right now.
You're right. You're officially a meme now.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have your face be attached to this meme and have so many people behind your personality?
Well,
it's almost like a cult.
Are you what are you talking specifically about? Like one specific meme or what?
Well, it's kind of just your general profile picture. I mean, just any picture of you just tends to find its way into a new meme format. They get spread like wildfire. So, didn't you say? I heard someone from Goop tell me that your goal was to make a virus, like a meme virus that spreads like wildfire and is inescapable.
I've said some shit like that.
Sounds evil.
In different ways, multiple times. I mean, it's very weird. Yeah. I mean, specifically recently, there's a fucking picture of me crying.
Yeah.
And then someone photoshopped Joe Swanson behind it. And then it was everywhere. And I was just like, I guess this exists.
we were playing Counter-Strike and you brought that up and you were like, it's like, oh, it's on Grande's like meme of the month.
Yeah,
it's like Carson crying with Joe Swanson.
That's the weirdest one because I have nothing to do with the growth of that
Right.
meme. It just kind of appeared. And I was like, this exists now. It's good for business.
It definitely became like bigger than you as well. You know, like in the sense that there were probably a lot of people sharing that meme who might not even know what your channel was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been recognized out in public just for being that guy from a meme?
No.
Or that hasn't happened yet?
No, but people from my hometown will see a picture of me on like their favorite history subreddit or I have a friend that's a horse girl who follows
Horse girls.
horse girl meme pages, and then there was a horse girl meme with me in it, with me and Joe Swanson, and she's like, "That's you? Is this you?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me."
Wow.
And that's me crying next to Joe Swanson.
You know you made it when you're on the horse meme pages.
Yeah.
That's when you know the meme is
That's
widespread.
the dream.
Even the horse girls are loving it. I mean, that's crazy. I'm sure that sooner or later you will start getting recognized out in public. Like, I swear I know you from somewhere. You're
That's
like,
the goal.
And then, I mean, is it? Do you get recognized much for your channel?
That's sort of more since I moved, because I moved to San Diego July, and since then I get recognized
When you're out and about?
a
just
little
occasionally?
bit when I go out.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like once every 3 weeks.
Are they all very casual, very pleasant experiences, or is it awkward at times?
Generally, yeah. I've only had like one that was like but
Would you like
most-
to share that?
no, it's not even like worth bringing up because it was just boring.
Oh, okay.
But like
Fair enough.
it was, most fan interactions, people are pretty respectful.
Yeah.
What was your experience at our party on the weekend? We held a big Misfits Gamers Ups party that you were present at for maybe an hour before you went home.
Less than an hour.
Less than an hour.
Do you want my full experience?
I would
Yeah.
love to hear your experience.
I walk in and I get mobbed, and I'm like, well, this place is super tiny. I'm gonna try and get somewhere where I'm not getting mobbed by people. So I got to the Misfits room. I sat down next to Max Mofo. He said some shit like, he genuinely said my name is Jeff, and I gave
like
him
Max.
I gave him a fist bump.
That sounds
and then
like
I
Max,
left.
yeah.
Max.
I tried to get out of the party because I was at this point drenching sweat, and I had a bunch of people screaming at me because they want pictures with me, and they didn't know I was there, because why would I be in Australia? And I didn't go to PAX, so and then I had anything for views Chad bulldoze so that I could get out of the party.
Oh, what
So
do
it was
you
a
mean?
fun time.
What, he just pushed people out of the way for you?
I grabbed onto the back of his shirt and he just kind of
He just went through.
yeah.
That's great.
Interesting.
Good old Chad. Did you
Yeah.
feel like a rock star?
No, I felt very sweaty.
Did you feel unsafe at any point?
I wouldn't say unsafe, but I had my backpack on me with a lot of my things.
Right.
So
you
And I was like,
Just a lot.
probably
to deal
shouldn't
with.
have this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this in the Pyro episode, but the weirdest experience about the party was that, normally you go clubbing and, you're just clubbing with a bunch of random people. But this place, it was basically like going clubbing in a room where every single person in there knew who you were.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you go to cons and stuff and, you know, you get recognized every now and again, but being
It's
in a
literally
room
every single
with
person.
every person knowing exactly who you are is so, like, such a strange
And not just
experience.
knowing who you are, but being, you know, more or less a fan of you as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it was crazy. I mean, walking through that crowd was wild. And
Yeah.
it felt very weird to, you know, have a bunch of drunk people ask for photos, and then you actually just couldn't give them all photos. So you had to be like, I'll get back to you. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
I tried to take as many as possible because I went onto the dance floor and shit. And I was like, I want to dance. And then I went out there, and I was expecting to be able to dance, but there was no dancing to be had. Only photos.
Yeah.
But it was still pleasant. I mean, dude,
fun.
I was really sweaty and I was really drunk. I had to go back in the Misfits VIP section and wring out my balaclava because of how drenched it was in beer and sweat.
Wow.
It was an experience.
Yeah.
I still haven't washed it.
I mean, what was your experience at the Twitch party? Let's just reflect on that.
The Twitch party?
Yeah, the one that we threw at TwitchCon.
Oh, the TwitchCon. Oh, that was a great time.
Was that your first time being in an environment like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm not a partier.
To be honest, I mean, was it your first time being in I would say it was definitely my first time being in an environment like that.
And a party that
specific,
big?
that party?
Probably.
Yeah,
not.
that
Party
was...
that big
that-
and an Airbnb that expensive.
Yeah, sure. I
Yeah.
mean, but we've been in situations like that, you know.
Yeah.
not-
in
I
ways.
feel like
to
that was
that
a very
extent.
specific type
Yeah.
of vibe, though.
Yeah. This is a different vibe. I feel very American.
Did it?
Yeah, just because of the kegs and stuff, and like it didn't feel like I've been to house parties in New Zealand, and it felt completely different to.
I
that
thought
sort
it.
of house
I thought it
party.
was interesting how it was like this crazy awesome party, but it was also a weirdly laid back party,
Yeah. It was very chill. But still,
and there was a lot of space to move around.
It was surprisingly chill given how many kind of like high profile people were there.
Yeah, and how many people are wasted there? Like it was
There was
pretty
a
chill.
lot
Yeah.
of drunk people.
Yeah, it was good though.
I had a good time there.
Yeah.
There's a video on my phone. At one point, XQC, who, for anyone that doesn't, would you like to explain who XQC
I mean,
is?
XQC is probably one of the bigger streamers on Twitch right
Yeah.
now.
He's an ex-Overwatch pro gone meme, basically.
French Canadian, has a stutter, has a very interesting speech pattern.
Has a very interesting overall feeling to him.
He's a very
eccentric dude.
He's very hyper. you
Yes.
know? Yeah. He's a
Anyways.
little zoomer.
Every time he went up and down the stairs, he was jumping down the.
Yeah. A lot
You
of
know,
energy.
like,
A lot of
yeah.
energy.
I remember going upstairs to make sure that my helmet was in my room because I was worried that my helmet had gotten stolen because it was outside and then I couldn't find it where I put it. And I was like, oh, who has my helmet? Has anyone seen my helmet? Because there was, at that time, like over 100 people and I didn't know who the fuck half of them were.
Yeah.
So easily some guy could have been like, oh, it's Swagger's whole helmet. I'm just going to fucking take it. And they just fucking take it because they were fucked up. So I was looking around for it. Then I met Max Hurley, and he was like, no, I put it up in your room. So I went up, checked it was there, and as I was going back down, I see XQC running, bolting up the stairs. I think he had an eye patch on, and he had a Minecraft diamond sword,
Yeah.
and people were shooting at him with those Fortnite Nerf
think
That was
guns.
me.
I think this is his
and he
exact
was
story.
and he was just squealing. He was screaming and going like
Yeah.
that. And I was just sitting there like, oh shit, hey! And then I had to scoot by him. He was literally just jumping and jittering.
Yeah. I was the one shooting him.
Yes.
And I shot him enough to where he started trying to climb over the gap
Yes.
and slice at me with his Minecraft diamond sword. So that was an experience.
Fun.
And then later on, he was outside, and my friend Ted and his girlfriend Maddie were out there having a moment. And, and XQC just went out there and started talking to them. And so I went out there to see what he was doing and trying to pull XQC back in. And then XQC started jumping across the pool. It was like a 1 meter gap. And he's like, jump across the gap. Pussy. Jump across the gap. And I was like, it's like it's a very small gap. It's not hard to do. And he was hell-bent on me doing it. And then I did it. And he was like, I'm proud of you. And he ran back inside.
He's born to be a streamer, you know.
Oh,
it's
he's
just
great.
content all the time, even when
Yeah.
he's not live.
Yeah.
It's always about just content.
He's ridiculous. I love him.
It was so funny. I remember a moment when we were all in the hot tub and they were trying to get XQC in, and whoever, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his manager or something, but there was this girl being like, no, you have a meet and greet in the morning. Is it?
His roommate. Yeah.
But it was like, you have a meet and greet in the morning.
Sorry, that's a big inside joke. Carry on.
Okay, sorry. But he's like, you got a meet and greet in the morning. You can't get in the hot tub. He was like basically like playing with her, like putting his like toe in the water, like I'm gonna get in the water.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, please. And then she just goes, all right, you can get in the water, but don't get mad with me tomorrow morning when I wake you up early and you're wet. And he was like, oh. And then he walked away. It was like a mum being like, come on, all right, make your own decision, but don't get mad with me.
Yeah. No,
It's so funny.
He's blessed to have such a great roommate that looks out for him like that. No, it was a very good party though. I'm glad you had a good time,
Yeah, it was
despite being sober. It's good to see that.
Despite being sober.
I mean, the whole night I was just bringing you drinks of water.
You were a really good waiter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's what he used to do.
I used to do that. for a
The
living.
despite being sober thing is a very genuine thing, because there are a lot of experiences in which being sober around a bunch of drunk people is just terrible. But that party was fun regardless.
Yeah,
You had a little
I was
sober
just fun.
corner.
Like the Misfits party that we just had would have been a lot more fun for the drunk people than
Yeah.
it was for the sober people. But
easily.
that party, it
Yeah.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing all the personalities at that party.
Yeah.
I met Pokey there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That was
What
interesting.
was your impression of Pokey IRL?
Very businesswoman aura. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She seemed not serious. I don't know what the word would be, but I threw a Nerf bullet at her from my sniper tower, and then she ducked, and then came and hugged me.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so how did that make you feel?
I think I scared her.
Oh, yeah? Did you guys talk much?
No. She went off with you
Oh, yeah.
upstairs.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, I was giving her a tour. That's
Yeah.
right.
A tour.
Yeah, of the, all right. Yeah. All right, great. Did we get the clip yet?
That's why I did that.
Yeah, no, I mean, she obviously wasn't drinking either.
Yeah.
And I think she had a lot of meet and greets to do the next day.
Yeah, she was there very, very briefly.
It was
Yeah.
about an hour.
Yeah.
But no, it was nice to meet her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a good time.
One
I'd
of my
like to
favorite
talk to her more.
Yeah, true.
One of my favorite parts about the party was when Albert and Lily Pichu were there playing piano.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it
mean,
was
even
sick.
some of the guys from Goop would come over and play piano. It was just like,
Yeah, all tribes
there was a
do.
bunch of people getting absolutely smashed, super hammered. And then there was just these people playing beautiful piano in the corner. It was so cool.
It was a nice dichotomy.
It was so
swear.
nice.
I swear all tribes is an autistic savant. He's so fucking good at piano.
How do you
It's
say he's
incredible.
autistic?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
He was really good. He was really good at piano. It's
He
a
was.
compliment.
See, I was told by people that Ultrav was kind of weird in real life, and I was expecting him to be super zany. But when I met him, I was like, oh, this is the perfectly
He's just
nice,
a normal dude.
very sociable fellow. You know, it's very cool.
He's very cool. It reminds me a lot of people I knew in high school.
You say that about everyone.
I know a lot. I went to a big fucking high school.
Yeah.
True. No, it was a very fun party to people watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. That's
that
what I
must have
did the
been
entire
cool.
time.
It was just something happening everywhere.
If
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to someone, I was just up in my tower.
Just gazing down.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know about the tower. You went up there multiple times to give me water.
I love that you
Oh,
guys
you
had
mean the
your
little
little,
mezzanine area?
Yeah,
The
the-
elevated area with the seats?
you had your
Yeah, it was like
thrones.
soundproof.
Oh, yeah.
So I could just say shit and people wouldn't hear me. I would scream at someone and they would not know.
It's like a little VIP
Oh,
booth.
you want to know something crazy about that area?
What?
You know how there was bookshelves at the back?
Yeah.
There's a hidden room.
Is that where
Yeah.
the hidden room is?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
found on stream, I was telling the story of TwitchCon, and I was like, I'm sure that house has a YouTube video because it's a crazy house. Looked it up. Up there was a bookshelf that you could open and go down into a dungeon filled with wine. Like, just enormous wine cellar.
Wow.
That is such a missed opportunity. That was my
Yeah.
area. That was
Yeah.
where I was
It
the
would have been
entire
it
night.
would have been your little
Yeah.
dungeon to go down.
I
and
could have had
receive.
my own little dungeon.
You could have had a
It would have
to
been
dungeon.
just bring
Some
people
guards
sit
and
there
trap them.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
People could have been filming porn down there the whole time.
I know.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh, that would.
By the time this podcast goes out, I presume we will have told the full story of that night. So
I'm assuming
we won't
so,
touch on
yeah.
that again.
Yeah,
But
I filmed a porn.
yeah, it's very successful. I mean, that would do numbers. Honestly, you should look into that
You
for
think?
for
Call me
someday.
Carson porn.
I'll think about
100%.
it.
For someday. Yeah, you could probably get a good check for that as well. So.
Oh, I know what. I reckon people would love watching a porn video where you were a cuck.
Right.
You're just,
Oh, yeah?
You're sitting there to the side just watching your girlfriend get
Call me
railed.
cuck.
My fans do seem to be into that. Like they seem to like the idea of me just being a cuck. You know?
Yeah, I just feel like.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
But like, I just think it would be hilarious to see just Carson sitting on a seat while there's two people having sex. In a
I mean,
bed
it is
beside
funny.
him. That sounds
you're
hilarious,
you're
right?
not wrong.
Yeah.
You just be doing commentary the entire time.
No, he just have his noise canceling headphones on the whole time.
Yes, listening to the Misfits podcast.
Yeah, scrolling through some Twitters.
Well, speaking of honest work, did you do anything like with jobs before you did YouTube?
Hang on.
or?
Wait, what was that segue? When did we talk about honest work?
Yeah,
Porn.
Oh, sorry. All right, carry on.
Oh,
You saying?
I mean, I guess that loosely works.
sex work is real work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Really hard.
It
work.
is.
Very
No,
erect
genuinely.
and hard work.
Yeah.
But what did you do? Did you work in retail? Did you do customer service?
I-
Did you sell drugs?
I had a job before, and it was just working a camera for like local TV station.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a college TV station.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I didn't do it often because they would just film events. So I didn't get much real world job experience. I didn't have
kinda
that
like me.
retail job.
I was a photographer, so like I did work,
Oh, that's awesome.
but it wasn't like real world experience work. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a busboy waiter.
Hey, started from the bottom, right?
Wasn't that extremely temporarily?
It was for like, I think it was 7 months.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I think I'm thinking of someone else. I definitely thinking of someone else because I remember someone telling me that they were a busboy for like 40 minutes.
No, it was not me.
It must have been a really shitty busboy.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Yeah.
He walks in, he's like, wait, where's the buses? What the fuck?
Quits
Driver,
immediately.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is not what I signed up for.
not at all. Okay, so now you're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
How's that feel? I mean, it's been this dream of yours, clearly, for so long. Are you
Yes.
basking in it, or is
I
it,
have been walking on air
Is it
since
really?
May of last year.
do you genuinely
Awesome.
feel ecstatic about where you are?
Yeah.
That's great. Because I remember for me, when I started growing, like I remember adjusting mentally to it very quickly. You know,
Mhm.
like it became normal quick. Like within about 6 months, it was like, oh my God, like still crazy that I'm here, but
Well,
I've been here for a little bit.
I
now.
think I adjusted mentally after like a month.
Yeah.
Well, you get used to the new number. you
Yeah.
know?
After I hit 100K, I was like, I want a mil now.
Yeah.
And that's just how I am.
Yeah.
I think it's how most YouTubers are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just a people thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's ambition.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's like how there are billionaires who have so much money that they couldn't possibly spend it in one lifetime, but that doesn't mean they want to stop making money.
Mm-hmm.
I think if
Yeah.
I was a billionaire, I would look into prestiging and just giving all my money away and starting fresh. But like with a really nice Rolex or something, you know, so
Yeah.
you have your rank.
Yeah.
You're broke again.
Yeah,
Like you go in with a little bit
If you
of
hit-
an
if you-
advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
If you hit 10 mil, easily just make a new channel called CallMeCarson Prestige and then start
Yeah. And
just
uploading on
stop
that one
yeah.
and stop uploading the other
I
one.
mean, that's what I did with Also Fits, you know.
Yeah.
I just prestiged and now, we'll get that one to 5 mil and we'll prestige again. It's the cycle.
Are you excited to hit 10 mil?
I mean, I guess
What is
Yeah.
your main channel at?
it's like 5 something.
Don't you want that diamond play button? Have you ever held one? Hmm?
Honestly, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I
dude.
care anymore.
But dude, it's made of diamond.
It would be. I mean, it would be obviously insane.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen for a long time. So maybe that's why like I'm not
Another year.
focused on it.
Give it another year.
I don't know. I would love to fall back into that channel and get consistent with it again and get it popping again. But I think the right game needs to come out, or just some new wave needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because that,
Does hitting milestones still, give you that feeling that it used to?
Rip Social Blade.
Like YouTube milestones?
Rip social
Yeah,
blade.
Rip
I
Social Blade.
can't get my dopamine drip
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. I can't look at my sub count immediately after I upload and see 200 people unsubscribe and then feel really, really sad.
Did that happen to you?
Well, it happens every single time any big YouTuber uploads. It's just
hadn't
you're
hadn't
just-
noticed that actually.
You're
Yeah.
Never seen that.
because you just
My man, hey, killing
Because you're
it.
just activating notifications for a bunch of people that, like, you know, just, oh, I'm still subscribed to this guy. I don't watch his stuff anymore, and then they unsub.
Does that actually happen to you?
No,
Genuinely?
but like
Yeah.
for you, like it takes back up immediately.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like, what are
you
you,
know,
what are you talking
I'm
about?
just saying is that I used to do that and get really disheartened, and then realize, it's cool.
I never look anymore. I don't look at my
I haven't-
Well,
account.
you
I don't
can't
even
even
have
you can't
Social
even
Blade
look
bookmarked.
anymore.
No, but even when it was still there, like I just stopped.
I haven't looked
looking.
at Social Blade for
I
months.
enjoy looking at it. I miss knowing how many daily subs I'm getting because that was like a good motivator for me to be like, oh, okay, well maybe I should pick it up a little bit more and then keep a ball rolling. You know,
guess.
but
I was the same way.
You know, now that it's just every couple of days there's like a plus 10K. It's a bit more annoying to figure out and gauge how many you're getting daily.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know what we got to do now is we got to be getting 10K a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's-
so wait, how's it work now? It only shows up if it's over
it'll-
10K.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So
You flick over to the next 10K, and then it gives you a plus 10K on Social Blade.
yeah, but
Interesting.
all the other days in between the 10Ks are just null.
Can't you
There's
see
nothing.
on YouTube statistics?
You can, but they're like
a few
they're-
days late.
Yeah, they're 2 days late to the live.
So no instant dopamine
There's-
anymore for
no.
these YouTubers.
Well, you know, there's no takeover
I got a
anymore.
watch now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have it on me, but it gives me notifications, so I get a dopamine hit.
you need that.
That's my
dopamine?
real drug.
Yeah, dopamine.
Yeah.
Just like rewards.
I
center
assess my
gone crazy.
self-worth.
Could you
Wait,
Yeah.
you actually have a watch that gives you notifications? When
Oh,
you get
yeah.
subs?
I mean, it's for more than that, but
yeah.
not
Not
for subs,
Okay, okay.
but like,
I was gonna say
yeah.
Interesting.
that would be pretty AIDS.
Don't you think that's like? Do you think that could be unhealthy? That relationship with your stats?
No.
Like, do you feel?
Well, I mean, all of my roommates think it's unhealthy,
Right.
but I don't think it's unhealthy
What happens
because
when
it's a
you
motivator.
what when you start having a bad month? Like, is it going to affect you badly or?
I'm not gonna have a bad moment.
right.
I mean,
It
yeah.
doesn't affect me that badly. I mean, I've had bad months before. If anything, it just motivates me more. I've always used it as a motivator, just to kick my ass into gear.
Same.
Because I need something to push me to actually work.
Right.
Because a lot of times, like, I want to be working as much as I can,
Yeah.
and sometimes I'm not working as hard as I should, and that would push me to do it.
Right. So you never get concerned about burnout with that mentality?
I wasn't, and then I burned out a little
Yeah.
bit a couple months ago, but I'm back on my grind. So I just need to be willing to do a vacation every now and then. Is what it comes down to.
It's important, and so few YouTube. It's just like taking a vacation on YouTube sounds so scary because you think that you lose your momentum, and then all of a sudden you're going to be fucked for growth. But it doesn't really necessarily.
The biggest
happen that
issue
way.
for me is YouTube is such a, like, it's a 24/7 work cycle pretty much,
Yeah.
because you can be working at any time with anything that you do, and I feel like that's the most unhealthy thing.
Right.
Is just how work for YouTube is structured.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
You know,
You've
there's
just got to
no-
build around it.
There's no let up. You have to have a schedule for uploads, and there has to be consistency so that people are tuned into it and ready to
Doesn't have
watch
to
it.
be.
And
Yeah, otherwise your
I
channel
mean-
will turn out like mine.
you know, there's a general like kind of structure to follow. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a matter of if you wanted to take that break. You know, I can't take a fucking break unless I have shit prepared. And whenever I do take a break, which is usually out of my control, like TwitchCon happened, and then, you know, PAX immediately after.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to prepare any videos.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be like 3 weeks in between uploads, which I fucking hate. Every single time it happens, I hate it. And every single day I wake up and I'm like, I don't have a video. And my last video was 2 weeks ago. I get really nervous,
Yeah.
you know, because I want to be consistent. And if I'm just not uploading for long periods of time, I get really stressed out.
Fair. I mean,
Yeah.
that's very normal, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's the fear of wasted potential.
Well, yeah, you know,
That's what kills, that's what fucks you up.
That's-
It's like,
I-
am I making the most of my position? Am I going to regret this in
It's
5
such,
years?
oh my gosh, YouTube is such a huge opportunity for all of us.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I don't put in 110%, then it's going to ruin my life.
Yeah.
Not ruin my life. That's not necessarily
It's being
that.
melodramatic.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I
it's,
mean,
going,
you know.
it's going to be a wasted opportunity, and it's going to, not lead to where like you would have expected or had hoped or had wanted it to lead.
Yeah, I don't want to look back 10 years from now and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't. I didn't work hard enough.
Well, that's a good mindset to have in a lot of ways, as long as you don't let it completely crush you.
Yeah.
Because
all the
what
weight
you're-
isn't on your shoulders.
Well, what you're talking about is like you're just, it's you have an acute fear of like your life just going to hell because you fucking didn't work hard enough, which is
Yeah.
what I think that's, it's like the same for like a university student or something like that. Like if you're not studying and you're procrastinating and you're aware that you might fail because of it, it's like I'm literally just letting my life go to shit, but I can't stop it right now. You know what I mean? And like that is a really bad thing to slip into. So having an acute fear of that is probably good. However, it can also fuck you up, I think.
Well, it's
If
one of
like
the-
if you don't have other like focuses, or if you're only focused on just like make the most of this opportunity all the time, 110% every single day,
Well,
then you start burning out.
One of the things that's frustrating is that it's not all on you. There's an algorithm, and then there's
Yeah.
recommended,
Yeah.
and if you just keep getting targeted with demonetization, or if you get a copyright claim that could fuck your video performance. I mean, there's 110 ways that a video could perform badly that's completely out of your control, and that's the frustrating thing. And I feel like a lot of creators, when they experience burnout, they've been doing the same thing for a while, and just soon enough the algorithm switch, it doesn't favor them.
Yeah.
And then they start thinking, oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong, and this is fucked up, and I'm just going to stop, and just stop it because this isn't worth it anymore. And they get buried in their head, and it's like a mental game.
Yeah, it's tricky because even, I mean, in some ways it's the creator's responsibility to adapt, like when the system does change or when trends change, like to stay afloat, you have to change your content. But at the same time, you might not like that change. So
Well,
it's weird.
it's like
It's like-
Leafy. How long are you going to be making literally the same video?
Well, I think
over and
his
over?
problem was more to do with
It's
other
toxicity.
factors.
Yeah, I mean, there
it
was
wasn't
a
just
lot
that it
more
got old.
to it.
It
but,
was like, yeah.
But even then, I mean, for his core fan base, I'm pretty sure they were at a point where they were like, this is kind of the same shit. Like, there's no evolution, there's no steps up, there's no change to content or any of that kind of makes it worth the watch.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think about that with our stuff. It's like,
Yeah, I do
mean,
too.
It is just funny moment stuff. The only thing that changes is the actual content itself.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
still
the
the
important
same
part.
format. Yeah, I
You
know.
know.
That's the thing.
Because after, 2.5 years of me making, and probably you as well and you as well, making Counter-Strike funny moment content, I mean, it's fun, and the videos were good, but after a while, it started, it very much became apparent to me that it was just a cycle and a formula that I was following every time, and I didn't feel like there was a lot of creativity and, like, willpower to make them besides, this is the staple.
Yeah.
Like, this is what people want,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put that out. It was when I started going into like VR stuff is when I started like getting that like passion back.
Yeah.
When I made that LA Noir video, dude, I had so much fucking fun making that video. But it's that kind of content, that doesn't maybe catch on as much as the formulaic stuff does. And I think a lot of that was due to that we were just playing with the same people for 3 years, and you just start to know the jokes in and out and the sense of humor and the style. And, I've been playing Counter-Strike recently with Carson and all of Goop, and it's been fucking refreshing because it's just new dynamics, dude.
And
And
we're
it's-
all
and it's-
idiots.
It's great.
Well, yeah. I did the exact same thing. I started branching out and playing with new people and streaming on Twitch more. And yeah, I mean,
That's the move. That's
Yeah.
the move, I think. For a while, I was very comfortable with my circle of people. And, there were creators that reach out to me, and I would have played with them, but it's just I was too nervous to give that even a try. Because, I'm going off this weekly thing of I need footage. I know this footage is going to, with this group of people, it's probably going to be good enough. Why take a gamble on something that could be awkward or could be weird or, isn't like a guarantee.
I guess, yeah. I mean, and that's when the passion dies because you're running a formula over and over again.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing you probably haven't fallen into that yet because you're still I mean, your content is very fresh and new.
I
still.
change shit up a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Like every video is different.
Yeah.
I go from one, and like I barely upload too on my main channel.
Same. Shout out.
Like I've been doing one a month like most of this year, which I hate, but because of my second channel, that's just how things are.
Second channel.
What is your second channel?
Let's go.
That is just stream highlights.
It's CallMeCarson Live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Fitz took my model for his second channel.
What, for switching to live stream highlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, you invented the live stream highlights.
Yeah, I
channel.
did.
No, I did kind of steal your model. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
It's good.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a good model.
It's a good
and
model.
I was inspired by seeing what you were doing to start streaming. I was like, hey, I mean, I
appreciate
need something new, and I was genuinely enjoying your content a lot. So I was like, hey, like, fuck it, let's see what's going on here. Let's delve into Twitch a bit.
It works because it's easy.
Well, it worked because it's immediate, and I really needed that because my content was so like it became too ambitious for what it was. It's like always looking for the better joke, always looking for like this crazy edit or some crazy shit.
You were also doing basically the same thing on both of your channels.
Yeah, which needed
Which
to
is rough.
change. Yeah, it was so dumb. I still am running it kind of in a dumb way. Like I feel like I could be doing my channels a lot better than I am, but it's just.
I mean, don't we always feel like that? Though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're talking about with the wasted potential and ambition, I guess. But yeah, I'm figuring it out slowly. It's been tough, bro. You know, 2 channels running this fucking Misfits shit.
Yeah.
Now we got Goop coming in the equation,
Yeah.
visiting us and shit. Well, what's the deal with Goop? Like, what's the plan there? What's the
Good
future?
question.
Like, what do you think of it?
I don't know. Good question.
Explain what Goop is to people who might not know.
It's like,
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's thing, right?
yeah, that's Gwyneth Paltrow's little.
You get the crystal eggs that you put in the vagina to cleanse your aura of bad omens.
I'm not a fan of this segue.
No, it's our little group brand. It's our little Misfits Junior.
I mean, what made you guys want to do that? I mean,
No, it's more just like a natural progression of things, and
Yeah.
I think it's important to build a group brand like that because it opens up so many doors.
yeah.
And I want to be able to support my friends with whatever they're doing, and a good way of doing that is making sure that people are actually seeing their stuff out there, which means if I promote a group brand, then all these people are going to come and see this group brand, and they're like, oh, these people are actually funny, and it's not just Carson, and I think that's really valuable.
No, true. I feel the same way. Even like before like making Misfits and stuff, it was always cool to me to find like hilarious people with smaller channels that weren't very well known and just bring them into the session so that they could, you know, get a platform for people to see how talented they were. Because, you know, there's something that's really dope about. There's so many people who are really, really funny and really talented and just have the goods that just don't make it because circumstances.
Yeah.
So finding those kinds of people and just giving them like, you know, not even like promoting them or shouting them out, just being like, yo, like, you know, here's an opportunity for everyone to see how funny you are, see where that takes you.
Yeah, exposure.
It's dope. Yeah, I love Goop. I think you guys have like...
We haven't done anything yet.
I know, but I just really,
That's the thing.
you know, just watching you guys as a dynamic and now meeting you guys in person has been really sick to see. And I'm sure that it's...
I'm looking forward to it. I'm stressed. I'm very stressed about it.
Yeah, it will take up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
And it will.
Yeah,
It's another
surprising
ball to
amount.
juggle, which is interesting. But, you know, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
So who cares? And it does open so many doors and
It's
great opportunities.
always a good thing to be a part of something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
And I think Goop and Misfits have been like, you know, 2 of the really cool things that like I've had any involvement in, you know, especially Misfits. But, you know, should be the same for you with yours.
Goop just seems like it's the next step for me.
What?
It's his mic.
What? Is it making a funny noise?
Yeah, was that not what you were just doing?
Yeah, oh, well, no. So go on. You're fine.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Nothing. There might be a slight, you know.
It's like a little buzz, but don't worry.
Push your cable in.
Yeah, that cable.
Push the
just
cable,
Stick
just-
it like right up there.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it was or not.
Just talking to it.
Hey,
No, it's
I don't know.
No.
Just
Who
carry on,
cares?
it's
Who
fine.
cares?
It's fine.
Carry
Oh,
on,
it
carry on.
shit.
doesn't fucking matter.
did I fuck everything up?
Carson,
Yeah.
you've ruined the show. How could you? and you've just made it worse. You've just slapped the table.
I'm
sorry.
Dude, come on.
You can't do this right.
It's like laying a brick down on the gas pedal on a truck that you're pushing down a mountain.
It's off.
Speaking of groups, have you ever been a fan of any groups in the past? Any YouTube groups in the past?
Huh.
Did you watch The Creatures or anything? Or?
There's this one group.
Machinima.
I wonder what they're called.
Machinima.
Anything in here giving you any inspiration as to who they could be?
I like the crew.
Oh, the crew. Neat.
The crew of Misfits. I mean, it's like I've been seeing groups like that blow up, or become a group over time, and they usually don't work out. Have you noticed that? They usually just, it's a bad idea.
So I said the same thing when we were forming Misfits. I was like, these things don't tend to seem to work very well.
I mean, they work really well for like a couple of years, and then they don't work anymore.
Yeah.
Apart from Rooster Teeth.
When does the neon sign turn off, you know?
Yeah. What happens then? When are the lights in this place going to shut off? No, I mean, like, yeah. What do you think it is that makes groups fail?
You're throwing a bunch of people at a wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah.
And it usually doesn't, because it's hard to work together with people, especially with YouTubers that don't have like real life world experience working together with people in a workspace. Well, not even social skills. It's work skills is what it comes down to.
There's also the thing of like, usually with groups, it's a bunch of YouTubers coming together and making another channel. And it's like, you know, for a lot of people, they just want to focus on their own shit.
Yeah.
And that is always going to be in the forefront of their mind. And that can make it hard to have the ambition to like make sure you're doing cool shit on the group channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what you're dealing with is effectively a relationship that is pretty intimate, you know, and not only just with one person, but with multiple, you know, 4 to 5, 6, if you're us. And then you're also combining that with work. So it's like kind of a triple threat in terms of just variables and people's feelings to be considered. And, you know, I mean, there's just problems everywhere.
You usually find a group starts to decline when it goes corporate and when it goes really corporate. The one cool thing I like about Misfits is that, you know, us and the talent are pretty separated from the whole management side of things. So, like, we're not directly involved in like business or anything like that. Yeah. You know, like other groups would be.
Well, everyone on the Misfits team is very much like on a casual level.
Yeah, they feel like friends. It feels it doesn't feel like we're never talking to a boomer in a suit who's talking to us about like what wacky new idea we need to come up with for the kids and trying to push us to play Fortnite or anything. Like we all have free will and autonomy and choices and decisions,
which is probably worse overall for like efficiency and
we haven't uploaded a video in fucking age
and like business, but it's better for the health of the group.
Yeah,
which is ultimately the important thing, and that's always kind of been what we've considered to be the most important thing with it. Yeah, because without health in the group, then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
I personally like. As far as like our stuff goes, I view as far as group content goes, I view the podcast as like top.
Yeah,
I kind of don't really care that much about the videos. I think it's like most important thing for us to be consistent on is the podcast.
Yeah.
I've always viewed it as our best asset because it's what made us personalities and not just funny voices on CS:GO videos.
That makes sense.
Because you know people would see these videos, they like the jokes, they like the comedy, like the you know ridiculous highlighted version of ourselves, and then they would listen to the podcast and they would say, oh, there's actually a little substance here. Yeah, and people like that. And
you guys run a good show here.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
Check out the Patreon.
No, but I mean, you guys have a podcast of your own. I was on your early podcast with Rack and Narrator. That's kind of like that was my first long interaction.
Yeah, he was on there.
As well.
Solitary Confinement podcast. When I told the Denny story, it has like 2.7 million
people
views.
Love that story.
I feel so bad for that woman, dude. That woman that got her fucking waiter Johnny to throw a chair through the front window. Yeah. Oh my god. Dude.
I feel like
what the hell did he just say?
There's a lot there to unpack.
Oh, it was just a reference.
Yeah, it was a reference.
I feel when we first started doing the channel, I mean the podcast, I think a lot of people used to come to my streams and be like, you guys are just copying Solitary Confinement.
Really?
Damn. It was either they would either compare us to the official podcast or Solitary Confinement.
That's so weird.
You're obviously.
And it was always like,
Our
what,
podcast
do
was
they
shit.
own podcasts?
Yeah, like honestly.
Your podcast wasn't shit. It was different though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my stay on there. It was fun, and I enjoyed the Goopcast as well. I think it's very.
I think Goopcast is shit too.
You think
I
it's
think I
shit?
just think anything I'm a part of is bad.
You're really not good at promoting your brand.
I guess not.
Guys, check out Goop.
From the Solitary Confinement podcast, you're obviously still close with Rack. When was the last time you talked with Narrator? Where's he been?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. I don't really keep in contact with either of them actually.
Really?
Yeah, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've talked to Rack in like the last year. And
Interesting.
it's just because you grow apart, you know?
Yeah, people change. People move on from
Yeah.
things. Yeah. How would you say your involvement is in the Goopcast? You try and take more of a back seat, don't you? That's what you've told me at least.
I'm trying not to. I don't want to take full control of everything. Everyone else is smaller than me, and I want it to be a group thing. I don't want everyone to come in and be like, "This is Carson's podcast."
Yeah, you don't
and
want to be
everyone
like
else
that
is-
guy.
Yeah, you don't want to be like the 3 letters Fitz.
I did not come up with the name, and in fact, I made sure
I
that
know.
I was like, guys, you are aware that it has my name in it. Like, as long as you guys are okay with it.
Yeah,
No,
we're
but
just kidding.
I'm very much different too in that. I am like such a control Andy. Like
I mean,
but
do you
not-
think that's better?
I do.
I think my intentions for it are good.
I think it's good to have like a main driving force in the group that is making sure that everyone else is still feeling motivated. Because I feel like Fitz is he is kind of like controlling, but not in a negative way necessarily.
You're
It's more
not
just
not
like
abusive like a dad.
it's
I'm a
like
guiding hand. It's what I try to be. I think I definitely sometimes overdo it.
he's
but
just a perfectionist.
yeah. I'm surprised that you're not like that, given how you seem to view your content and how ambitious you are.
Well, I haven't really decided how I should be
Right.
with Goop. It's still very new. It's still very up in the air. I don't know what the right procedure is for it because obviously it's a different group.
Right.
But I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I think it's hard for me to look at it and not think everything's bad, just because I do have a certain creative control thing myself.
Yeah.
like you.
You want it to be good, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is for me. It's like I want it to be good. So
Yeah.
like I think that I put in more focus on like the really subtle nuances and things,
Yeah.
and then I'll like try and fix them like obsessively.
I mean, it's just like how you didn't want an editor for the longest time. It was because you liked the way you did your videos, and
Yeah.
and
then it's,
I'd still edit my main channel stuff.
yeah. I do co-op now, so like
Yeah.
we both edit it. So like the grunt work's gone, but I still have the control, which is so necessary for me. Because without it, I will hate everything.
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone else's creative vision, even if it's something stupid like how a subtitle pops up.
I'm lucky. I've had an editor from the
I
beginning.
get that though.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because
It's very weird, right?
maybe I should have more creative control over it. I don't know.
I think like the key is just not being a fucking dictator with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which hopefully I'm not, but I'm sure that I haven't walked the line perfectly because I'm
I don't know.
young and an idiot. But
Editors understand the dynamic when you work with them. As long as you're paying them for the time that they're putting into it, and as long as you're not being like you're a fuck up and you're fucking this up and you're not doing it right, and like, if you're being an asshole and you're not being respectful, because they're still editors, they're still artists, and they're still working. So
wow.
if they're fucking up, then you just have to be more like, hey, get your shit together, or like, we're not going to be able to work together on this, and I'll have to find somebody else.
I'm very careful with my editors for my second channel because I'm like, dude, it's awesome that you're doing this for me, but there's like this one little thing I need changed.
Yeah.
I'll just take it. It's fine. and then I make a bunch of changes myself.
Yeah, it's important. I've been working with an editor, but I've been trying to train him for a while, and he's doing a better job. It's just there's just some, I guess, creative differences in the ways that I find something to be funny and what he personally finds to be funny.
Yeah.
I find that if I cut up a video myself and send it to him, he could do most of the subtitle work pretty much down pat. It's just I have to do general cleanup. But either way, instead of working 16 hours on a video, I'm only working like 5 or 6, which is very helpful.
I mean, what we're talking about is like leadership skills and how to like criticize someone who's working for you without ruining like their drive or making them want to start working.
Well, what
you
do is that you compliment all of the things that they got correctly and the things that they've improved on. You go, I'm very happy that, you managed to work out subtitles pretty well. The only thing around like, you give them a timestamp and then you do a small criticism and then you go, dude, but everything else you did perfectly, thank you. And that's generally how to do it, because then it motivates them and goes, oh, cool, like I've improved, like I've made progress in my editing position for this person.
You just manipulate them and you treat them like dog shit, and then very, very occasionally you praise them, and that makes them. And then you can keep them chained in a basement, and they'll still work for you.
They constantly have that drive to get the next praise.
That's the ambitious, So shout out to my editor. God knows he needs some sunlight, but
That was awesome. I like this idea.
Yeah, very nice.
I thought you
would keep this in mind.
Diabolical.
You should do that just with all of Goop, actually. Just run it like that. Just be a complete and utter tyrant.
Who's in Goop? Because I recall early on there was like a lot of people in it. It was almost like a collective. But now it seems like you shaved down, kind of trimmed the fat a little bit to have like a core membership.
I feel like with Goop, you're always going to have people on the outskirts. Like people,
like associates.
People always talk about, like Smitty and Cryos and Buys and stuff like that. And they kind of consider them like they're part of the Misfits, but they know that they're not part of that like core. I don't know.
The issue we were dealing with was we couldn't include everyone and still have brands be like, yeah, this is good. We can tell who's in this, because like no one could tell who was in it. Yeah. So I mean, we shaved it down to 7 people, and that's what we're going with.
Name them.
All right, we got Ted Nivison, who's a commentator.
Fucking homie.
Wait, is that how his name is said?
Nivison. Sorry, Ted Nivison.
Do you think it was Nivision or something?
I thought it was like Ted Nivision.
Yeah,
like
I thought it was like television as well.
Oh,
that'd be cool, right?
That would be cool.
What is Nivision?
He has a cool name
is
anyway.
Nivision his last name?
That is a cool name.
Nivison.
Yeah, that's his last name.
Oh, that's fucking stupid. I thought it was like a joke. I thought it was like Ted Nivision. I was like, oh, that's sick. But I guess that's even sicker.
How about we name the rest of the Goop?
Okay.
There's Charlie Slimesicle, and he's pretty big. I've been watching him since like 2016, and then like last year I actually DM'd him and we started talking, and now we're good friends, which is awesome.
Nice.
I love YouTube.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
And then there's Travis, who's sitting behind right now.
He's been listening the whole time.
Yeah, he's just chilling
there. Really up.
And then there's C-Scoop Cooper.
Little
there's
skater kid.
Yeah, he's got a little skateboard.
He skates around. He's really short.
Yeah,
shorter than me.
Well, he just had to say that.
Is that true?
Go on. He's so taken aback. He's so much shorter than me. Good for you, man.
And then we got Noah Hugbox.
Yep.
He's also in Australia right now.
There's Jay Schlatt.
Yes.
And then you.
Is that it?
I think you said 7.
If we forgot one, then who cares? Right?
Did you remember everyone?
Yeah, that's Goop.
We'll figure it out eventually.
7 people.
The Goop name is still a work in progress too.
And you're currently living in a house with Noah, Travis, Cooper, and yourself. How's that going?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm glad that I moved out. And I'm glad I'm living with them. It's a good experience. But now that we're doing Goop, it's extremely difficult to have a separation of work and life.
That's why we aren't getting another Misfits house.
Yeah.
You need that separation.
Yeah. It's very difficult to work and live with them. Also, I'm an introvert. So
same. That's why I knew I couldn't do a house from day one, Like I just didn't even attempt.
Yeah.
I was like, nope.
I've thought about getting an apartment or something, and then just like going to the house when I need to.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's why
Everyone
we got an
complains when I
office.
bring that up.
The
but-
office is
Interesting. Because that was our plan from the beginning. It was like we get a house, and then as soon as we like doing well enough that we can get an office, we get an office, and everyone moves into their own houses.
Yeah.
And that was just everyone was like, yeah, that's what we want.
Everyone will have their own individual living space and creative space for making their content and living their lives and having time to get away from everything and decompress.
Yeah.
And then when you need to, you go to the office or a communal workspace to work with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just way better for everyone's, general mental health.
I mean, you would think so.
I would hope so.
It's
I
not
mean, some
perfect.
people also just love having roommates.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, not me.
I don't know. I feel like I'm more like you.
Yeah, I
but-
think we are similar in a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
also
I
very
live at the
different.
Misfits house, but I don't really live at
Exactly.
the Misfits house.
I don't see
have
him.
a lock on my door.
I don't see him anywhere. You know how I know if Toby is home or not? Either I look outside from my window to see if his car is in the driveway, or I walk down to his bedroom and I go like this on the doorknob, and if it doesn't go all the way down and it's locked, then I'm like, he's here.
If I'm home, my door's locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never see you around, and it was so lonely
Is the
because Matt's not here, and
Yeah.
it was like a
let's
Wild West
not get
tumbleweed.
all right, we're fine.
And then,
we get it.
and then Blue
You're
got
sad
here, and
about it.
then Blue's here.
Hey Carson,
He's got a lot going on.
he's going through a tough time. So is the idea that everyone in Goop moves to the same city, and is that city going to be San Diego, or is you just don't?
I mean,
really
I
know?
think that's the long-term plan.
Cool.
San Diego seemed great.
Yeah,
Better than
I like
LA.
San Diego a lot.
Hmm.
Though I will say, it's hard for me as someone who grew up in the Midwest, United States, where everything's way greener.
Yep.
And now it's like everything is just dry and oversaturated.
Right.
But I could deal with it. My ideal idea is to wake up in the morning and I look outside a big window and it's just green, beautiful trees and a nice blue sky with clouds.
So that
There's never
kinda-
clouds.
So that kind of stuff is actually important to you. Like you would like to have a nice natural setting for your makes you feel mentally good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just get some plants.
I'm the same.
Just get some plants.
Yeah, water them.
I
Have little pets.
Yeah. Do you like the outdoors?
no.
Oh, that's interesting.
Though I do have multiple shirts about me liking the outdoors.
Well, there you go. Contradicting items of clothing. Very trendy.
I have one shirt that literally says "The Great Outdoors" on it. And it's like a little graphic.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I mean, Melbourne's very green, and so is New Zealand.
Yeah,
So
I love Melbourne right now.
You would really like New Zealand, I reckon.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I mean, San Diego seems like a good spot because
It
it's
is.
close enough to LA that you can like a collab with most YouTubers is only a couple hour drive, but it's also out of the city.
I think realistically, it would be like the Misfits. If the Misfits had a place in like San Diego or LA, I think that would be like prime situation. But I also don't think it's what any of us actually want.
I just don't want to live in L.A. I don't want
Yeah.
to live anywhere near that dump. I'd like to go. I'd commute there, but
Yeah.
like since
Come
I
to
went to
San
San
Diego.
Diego, dude, San Diego was really nice. I wouldn't mind living there.
I could
Yeah.
happily
My-
live in LA
my
because I'm a
dad-
bitch.
My dad was down in San Diego for a bit while we were there. He was there for a business trip, so we came up to L.A. and said hi. And every single time he tells me he's in San Diego, this was before I went, he'd be like, "You should go to San Diego. Like, you guys should all go to San Diego. Like, it's great." I was like, "What's great about it?" He goes, "Because there's beach and ladies with big tits. It's awesome." I was
It's
like, "All right,
funny.
Dad."
Meeting Swagger's dad it just made everything make sense.
It just clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you meet his dad at all?
No.
No. Well,
No.
one
But
day you will. And
He
you will
seems like the
understand.
type of person with a dad that would make everything click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
I'm
was
li-
like,
I'm-
holy shit, this is just Swagger, but older. Like, it's
I'm
crazy.
literally my father.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, it was so funny. It was so interesting. He's a very nice guy.
He's a
Yeah.
very fucking
It's
awesome
a real
dude.
pleasure to meet your dad.
Yeah, he would have smoked weed if it didn't violate his security clearance.
Here we go with that again. Let's not get into that one. Carson,
What do
I
your
mean-
parents do for work?
My parents, my mom's a stay-at-home mom, and my dad is a professor.
Oh, really? What does
Yeah.
What does he profess?
Communication, so MediaCom. Yeah.
Oh, so he just talks?
No, media communication. No, he does TV and stuff.
Oh.
He teaches TV.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Is he ever involved in the industry?
A little bit. He was a news reporter and stuff.
Really?
Are your parents funny? Do you think? Would you call them funny?
No.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes.
Funny?
Yes.
Ah, why?
Our dynamic is funny.
Why do you think it's funny?
I don't know.
How many-
Because it's like a brother-sister relationship.
You,
So it's
you
just
have
a
one
sister?
sister?
I have one sister.
She older or younger?
8 years older.
What does she think
Holy
of
shit.
what does she think of what you're doing now?
They're all taken aback by it. They don't think about it though. It's weird for them.
Yeah, I try not to make my family think about it. Whenever I talk to my brothers, that like I very much try not to, make it apparent. Like, I don't know. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It is weird.
My
It's
family,
just
they're all
weird.
clout chasers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
It's just weird
You have
explaining.
a strange family.
No, it's weird explaining what you do to boomers that have no understanding of like that space. Because usually it goes, so what are you doing? And it's like, oh, well, I make videos on YouTube. And they go, oh, I heard about that, like that ninja guy. So how much money do you make? And that's the segue.
I've had to explain to my parents a handful of times about how like what's this type of ad, what's a brand deal, how do you make money, who are the Misfits.
Have you had to explain that to them?
Sort of, yeah, because I mean I'm managed by Ryan, who is your guys' manager. So yeah, I've had to explain like, this is my manager. He works for these people, not works for, with these people. And yeah,
Interesting.
it's an interesting explanation to go through for everything.
Do they approve
Approve of what?
our content?
I don't think they know your content.
Oh,
But do they approve of like what you're doing?
I don't think they approve of the content, but they're proud of me.
They're
Yeah.
supportive?
My parents are
Yeah.
the same. My mom's always like, she might be watching this right now. She admitted to me recently that she
Hi.
watches some of the podcasts.
Oh, really?
Which
That's
is
fun.
bad because that's where I talk about all the bad stuff that I do. But she was remarkably understanding about it, which was odd for me because growing up, my parents were always very like, I was never the type of kid that could swear in front of their parents or
Yeah,
I
same.
tell
can't do
them
that
anything
either.
like
Yeah.
bad.
I still can't do that.
Yeah, I still
find it weird.
wouldn't. I still wouldn't. Yeah.
I said something on one of the podcasts once, and my mum messaged me afterwards, and she was like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, fuck. They watch it.
What
But
did
yet,
you hear?
then you think like, God, if they've watched one, they've probably watched multiple.
Yeah.
Well,
and then you're like, why haven't they been like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you,
It was like when, like, I had an interest in psychedelics, and I was telling my dad about it. And he was like, "Never take acid. Like, never do that. Like, don't even fuck around with that shit." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And then after we did that trip at MEO and did it all together, and then we released the podcast. I remember my dad. I was making a sandwich in my kitchen, and he goes, "Hey son, so I was listening to the podcast, the latest one," and I go, "Oh." and he's like, "You guys did a really good job at explaining it. To be honest, I figured a lot out." I was like, yeah, I took acid. Yeah, sorry.
I feel like that's the thing. I feel like that's why our parents aren't like, you got to be careful with your life and stuff. It's like we generally do a pretty good job explaining stuff before we talk about it.
pretty goddamn responsible.
All right, let's talk ourselves up some more. No, but we're careful. I think,
Yeah.
which they acknowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I've never tried acid.
Do you have any tattoos, Carson?
You want to?
I don't have any tattoos.
Would you ever get any tattoos?
That's a good question. I've thought about it.
I love asking, I guess.
Get one that
this.
says meme on your knuckle.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
If you've thought about it. So what sort of stuff have you thought about?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if something pops out at me. Like, I don't know.
Just
I have no idea.
get
I just think
Carson
tattoos
crying.
are kind of cool.
get,
Yeah.
get yourself crying.
Carson crying right on the
No,
bicep.
see, that's
or
not
something.
what I
All
want.
across
I
your
want one
back.
that's like small and cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want the same thing.
I
someday,
think you would
think.
look cool with tattoos.
He thinks everyone would look
But
cool.
yeah, I
with
do
that.
think everyone would look cool with tattoos.
I'd look badass. Yeah.
Yeah,
I should get a sleeve is what I should get.
Yeah.
I was-
Yeah, that fit me.
Get a
I was
sleeve.
thinking about getting a tattoo yesterday. I
Do it.
really felt like I wanted to get one.
What
Let me
kind?
know when you want to get a
Meme
tattoo. I'll
across
take you.
No, not meme across my knuckles.
Nice.
No.
Cube world.
Oh, no, it
Full
wouldn't-
life.
Souls.
wouldn't fit. No, it wouldn't do it. It'd just be like right here.
What would it be? Like a serpent?
No. Are you familiar with the Voyager 1 space probe that left the
Yeah, don't
influence
worry.
of
It's
the
just
sun?
some gay shit.
Like the golden record with the pulsar map that is supposed to lead back to Earth.
Nope.
I wanted to get that tattooed here.
That's been on your mind
with
for
the
a long
hydrogen.
time.
Sounds
You
dope as hell.
Yes,
spoke about that
like
last year on the podcast.
Yeah, I like the idea of it a lot. I'm starting to warm up to the idea because if I was to get a tattoo, I think that'd be my first.
Your dad doesn't like it though, eh?
My dad doesn't like the idea of a tattoo, but the thing is, I told him, I'm like, Dad, I'm going to get a tattoo, and that was at night when he was asleep, and then he woke up the next day because I just wanted to know what his reaction would be. And
Told him why he was asleep.
Yeah, he walked into his room.
And no,
and he
no,
was like,
like, I texted him when I was still here.
Oh, okay.
oh.
So it was midday for us. He was asleep. I sent him, "Oh, I'm getting a tattoo tonight." Blah blah blah. And then when he woke up the next morning, he responded with like, "Did you actually get a tattoo?" I go, "Yeah, it was the pulsar map thing." And he was like, he goes, "Okay, fine. Let me see it. Did it turn out okay?" And then I sent a picture of my bare arm, and I said, "Yeah, it's an invisible ink." And then you said, "Go fuck yourself."
I feel like your dad would be like, once you had the tattoo, he might actually like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Or
I mean-
he would definitely be okay with it, I think.
As long as you're not fucked up.
Yeah.
As long as they don't do a terrible
Yeah.
job
Yeah.
and butcher my arm.
I was so surprised when like every time I get a tattoo, I'm like, oh, I don't really want to post it on Instagram. I don't want my family seeing that I got another tattoo.
yeah,
and
but
then every
it's
time
at
I-
a point it doesn't really matter.
Every time
hey.
I get one, Mom's like, oh, that looks sick.
Now you're posting it to get that feedback from her.
Yeah, that's all I
She
want.
never compliments me on anything else except my tattoos.
All I care about is my mom's compliments.
Wow. That's you have a lot in common with serial killers.
Yeah, we've
would
been
you-
over this. I'm a sociopath.
Would you ever get a piercing, Carson, anywhere? No piercings?
I don't get piercing.
You wouldn't pierce your banjo string or anything like that?
No.
I want to
No.
see what Carson would look like in full drag makeup.
I do too.
What is next for CallMeCarson?
What is next?
Yeah.
Drag
Not piercings or tattoos.
Or drugs or alcohol?
No.
Maybe Wade.
I'm pretty boring. You know?
You're not boring. You've been a very entertaining guest.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Please talk at least one time with me, Carson.
No.
You don't have to.
You don't want to. You
I
don't
Weed
want
don't,
shit.
I don't plan
You
on
don't
it.
want to smoke with
Swagger's not a
You don't
good
want to
person.
smoke a little bit of
I'm
weed
good.
with Swagger.
I hate weed.
You don't want to. Not even a little bit. Just a
No,
little.
Don't do
little,
that.
I really don't.
That's bad. Carson, we're near the end of the show here. Is there anything that you would like to talk about? Anything else you wanted to bring up? Anything you want to
Do you
promote?
have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Any questions for you?
Mm.
No.
Great. Guys, thanks for watching the Misfits podcast.
Thanks, guys.
This
Thank
has
you.
been Call Me Carson on YouTube. Call Me Carson on
That's
Twitter.
me.
Call Me Carson.
Let's actually
guys.
call me Carson YT on Twitter.
Call Me Carson YT. On
We want
Twitter.
to talk about my tweets?
Not really.
Mm.
Okay, let's.
We can talk about your tweets. What is it? What makes a good tweet for you?
Something that evokes important discussion and emotion,
Wow.
such
Yes.
as I
Like those-
tweeted yesterday, the Fortnite black hole is my asshole.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
No.
Not like on Twitter or just IRL. I
Yeah.
just didn't like that.
Why didn't you like that tweet?
I just thought that it was a lot.
You know, I
He
have a lot of
pictured your
tweets that are
asshole.
really good, right?
I know that.
Like the one you wrote for me.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the monkey one?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes.
like,
Yeah,
ooh, I'm a monkey banana.
Did it do numbers?
I could read it verbatim. I haven't checked it since I posted the damn
If
thing.
it-
I
if it doesn't
take
get more
pride in
than-
my Twitter.
If there's not more than 30K likes on that, then it's a bad tweet.
I'm curious right now. Hang on.
If
let
it
me
was
go
on my
look
Twitter, it
down.
would have gone 30K.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Easy. Minimum. That's like minimum for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
If it doesn't get 10K in the first hour, it's a shit tweet.
Dude, I
That's
was
is
true.
Is it
That's
20?
true.
Is it 24.3K?
Terrible.
Banana, ape, ooh, as banana, I am monkey, swing from jungle vine, monkey vine, grow, bahaha, jungle man, monkey emoji.
Truly a wordsmith.
I-
Call Me Carson
Damn.
is.
I call myself the Da Vinci of words.
Mm.
The Da Vinci of words.
That's how you can tweet every day
Yeah.
with such
Yeah.
genius.
No, it's a daily thing for me. It's important.
Yeah. Do you ever stress out if you don't have a good tweet? Like, oh God, I gotta just tweet this average thing for my drafts. You know?
Yeah.
You ever do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't tweet every day. I can't bring myself to do that.
You got to do it.
It's too much mediocrity in my drafts.
What's
Too much mediocrity in my life.
What's your favorite curse word?
Curse word?
Yeah.
I say holy shit a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not a motherfucker kind of guy?
No.
No.
I don't say that
loves
often.
the F word.
Fuck, dude.
Fucking loves
so
the F
good.
word.
I used to not curse.
Really?
Yeah. Until like my junior year of high school when I was like, I'm going to start cursing.
Yeah.
What's your
That-
opinion on the word cunt? as an American? A lot of people really don't like it.
I'm fine with people saying it. I don't really care. But like,
you're in
it's not a
Australia.
pretty word.
I don't know.
It's not aesthetically
It's just-
pleasing, you know.
Vaginas aren't. You
No,
really
neither
aren't,
neither
dude.
is vagina.
We had a conversation yesterday about how gross vaginas are.
Mhm.
Vaginas are
You know,
beautiful.
they're
I think
like-
they're gorgeous.
Let
I
me
don't
preface
know,
this
man.
by saying I'm very straight. Okay, I'm not
okay.
gay.
He's not gay, guys.
That sounds like a
I'm
really
just saying-
closeted
I'm just
thing to
saying
say.
that-
No, no.
Yeah,
No, I have an ongoing bit where I'm super defensive over the fact that I'm straight.
But you're straight, so
I am straight.
yeah,
I am straight.
yeah. Like you like woman,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
vaginas
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
So why do you think
kinda
vaginas are
weird.
gross?
Have you ever heard of thrush?
Isn't that
There it
like an
goes.
STD?
No.
Isn't that like a rash?
It's when their pH balance is fucked up in their like little.
You ever heard of
their
smegma?
pocket. Well, yeah, there's smegma, but I don't have a foreskin, so I don't deal with it.
Well, there's a difference between a hygienic vagina and an unhygienic vagina, Swagger.
I know, dude, but it's like a cheese.
He's got a real. It was
Yeah.
more him than me.
Yeah, I can kind of sense that. now.
Vaginas are far better looking than penises.
I don't know, dude. I don't know about that one.
We ended the Pyro podcast talking about foreskins.
Yeah,
And
it's
we've ended
true.
this podcast talking about.
What'd you guys say about foreskins?
I don't even
Are
remember.
you,
Swagger just-
are you Snip? Are you Snip gang?
Yeah.
Yeah, Snip Gang. True. The homies. It's happening up right now on the Misfits show. I'm going to end
Wait
this
a
podcast
second.
right now.
Are you
Yeah.
not snipped?
Guys, thank you for watching the Misfits podcast. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, CallMeCarson.
Thanks.
And I'm sure that we'll have you on again sometime.
Oh, yeah?
Or maybe we'll go on the Goopcast.
Probably not.
Who knows?
I don't think I want to
I'd
have
love
you
to
back.
come on
And
again.
well, that would be nice. Let's wait
Let's
a bit.
make me a permanent member.
I mean,
Sorry,
okay.
I think we need to end.
Yeah, we actually should really go right now.
Sorry.
All right.
We'll talk about that later.
Peace the
All right,
fuck
all right,
out.
all right.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Peace. Deuces.
Bye.
See you guys later.